Oh my God. Hello, y'all. So it's Natalia, and this is Natalia's Alchemy. So today's video is like a shadow session video. So I want to show y'all my new completely free ebook that I made about like unblocking your desires, and it's just about like manifesting and how like doing shadow work will help attract your desires to you quicker because our limiting beliefs, our programming hides in our shadow. So whenever you can, you know, oh my gosh, whenever you can realize that and actualize that, alchemize that, and integrate your shadow, you'll be able to attract your desires to you quicker because you're no longer like secretly resisting them. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and hold on, is this up here? Where's preview? Okay. I don't really know how to work this. I think I'm gonna just do my entire and then go here. I hope, hold on, let me pull this up on here to see if like what y'all see. Cause I hope I'm doing this right. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, but um so we're gonna like take this. I'm gonna just show y'all what the ebook looks like because again, I made this a free resource because I really want people to utilize it to unblock themselves because at times people are like, I want this, I want this, I want this, but you're the one holding yourself back. So diving deep into your shadow will allow you to uncover what it is that's holding you back. So this is my ebook. Let's move on. How do I? How's it gonna let me go? Oh gosh. Oh, this was just a PNG. Where's the PDF? Now you're, bruh. Here you go. Okay. Now let's get into it. So I'm not gonna read everything because honestly, it's a lot, and y'all can read it yourselves whenever you get it because it's completely free. It doesn't take anything to get it, just your email. So I start off with the introduction and just tell you what the purpose of this ebook is. And it's because the reason that I made it is because of this session that I had with myself that I will talk about later on in this session. But basically, again, your outer world mirrors your inner world. You know, everything that you see is a reflection of you, your self concept, your beliefs, your programming. So whenever we see things that we don't like and we can recognize that we don't like them, it's like, why am I still seeing this shit? That's when we can be like, okay, maybe there's a part of me unknown to myself, to my conscious mind, that is, perpetuating this that I see around me. And it's like, okay, how do I get that part of me to stop? Because this is not actually what I want. And that's where shadow work comes in. So, shadow work is the art of bringing those hidden beliefs into the light so you can lovingly rewrite them. When you release what no longer serves you, you free up energy to create a reality that feels aligned, abundant, and uniquely yours. So, the purpose of this guide is to identify limiting beliefs that are holding you back, understand how they block your desires, and replace them with empowering truths that align with your highest self. So, the goal, rework, identify, um, understand, and then rework. So, first is to identify what the limiting belief is. It could be like, I'm not worthy of love. Understand, where it stems from, how it's blocking your desire. Oh, it stems from my mom not giving me hugs when I was younger, and I actually really loved hugs. So I felt like I wasn't lovable because she would never hug me. So how is that blocking my desire now? Because I believe I'm not deserving of love, then I self-sabotage every relationship that I get in because again, internally I feel like I'm not deserving of them. So then we can replace them. So a way that I like to do this is with EFT tapping. It really helps like just release that energy of that limiting belief, and then you can like replace them with affirmations and truths that align with, what you're moving towards. So shadow work isn't about judgment at all. You're not doing this work to judge yourself for having these beliefs. Like, they're normal. Like, it's normal for all of us to have these limiting beliefs, to have trauma that affects us, but understand that you can change that. You can do the work and reprogram your subconscious mind and choose life differently. You don't have, just because you were brought up that way doesn't mean you have to stay that way. So it's about compassion. It's about meeting the hidden parts of you with love, you know? So, yeah, we got the introduction, chapter one, what are limiting beliefs, signs you're pushing away what you want, some journal prompts, and then integration. Moving on, what are limiting beliefs? A limiting belief is simply a story your mind repeats that feels true even if it isn't. These beliefs often begin in childhood when we're highly impressionable. For example, being told you're too much may lead to the belief it's not safe to be fully seen. I had this limiting belief that I was too much for a long time, especially within relationships, just because I'm a very deeply emotional person. And, some people can't handle that. They aren't comfortable with their own emotions. So, how could they handle mine? Watching your parents struggle with money may plant, I have to work hard and suffer to deserve abundance. That was one deeply implanted in me as a child of an immigrant family. We were taught that hard work equates money, equates success, but, they were working hard. They weren't getting that which they were promised. Experiencing heartbreak might reinforce love always ends in pain. This is one that is prevalent in our society, in our generation. People get their heart broken once when they in kindergarten and they swear all hoes ain't shit for the rest of their life. And it's just like, no, no, one experience, you cannot generalize one experience, but that's what the mind likes to do. Like, that's what brings us safety, is generalizations. You take this one experience and then you be like, oh, okay, that's what all of life must be like. But it's not. It's a limiting belief, put in place to keep you safe. And you have to understand that and come at it with love, because it's all just love at the end of the day. That your body is doing this, your mind is doing this in order to keep you safe. It's not to harm you or anything. Even though like it may be blocking the desires that you have, it's not out of harm. So then we have this exercise to help you spot hidden beliefs. Um, I'm not going to go over all of this right now. I might do like a separate session diving into this specifically, but it's very the way to really get into the shadow and into your hidden beliefs is like asking yourself questions. I feel like the reason why a lot of people need therapy, I'm not even going to speak on that. Let me not even speak. Well, reason a lot of people feel that they need therapy is because they're not comfortable asking themselves the hard questions. It's like you need to ask yourself these questions and you need to be honest with yourself in order to uncover what it is that you're hiding, you know? So, here are some questions. What do I believe would happen if I actually received this, what I want? What don't I believe? Why don't I believe this is possible for me? What story do I keep repeating about why I can't have this? Notice any patterns, because there are patterns. That's one thing about us as humans. We love patterns. We love patterns and we love associating our identities with these patterns. So our shadow will often reveal through like asking ourselves these deep questions, like it'll reveal like these beliefs that you have. Maybe I'm not worthy, maybe it's too hard for me. Good things don't last. People like me don't get that. You'll start to understand these thoughts and beliefs that you have about yourself, about your life, and you can be like, I wonder why that is. And it's like, I don't think that's true. Let me like change that. Becoming aware is the first step. That is the first step, is just awareness that they're there. Because once you recognize that they're there, you can change them. Okay. Signs you're pushing away what you want. The universe is always responding to your energy. Always, always, y'all. Not just your words. Even when you're asking for more love, money, or freedom, hidden beliefs can create resistance. This resistance shows up as subtle patterns in your daily life, often so familiar that you don't even notice them. Here are some signs that you may be unconsciously pushing away that very thing you desire. One, you feel excitement when opportunities appear but quickly take yourself out of them. You procrastinate to avoid action, even on things that you know would bring you closer to your dream. Bro, when I was making this, I was like, hold on, like it's like, why is it what you clocking real bad right now? Because I definitely have had a problem with that second one. You receive compliments, abundance, or love, but feel unworthy, guilty, or tense when it comes. You downplay your desires, telling yourself it's not realistic or maybe someday. These are very common signs of self sabotage. Know that anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. So when you find yourself talking yourself out of like opportunities that excite you, when you find yourself like removing yourself from spaces that you know you should be in order to elevate, stop and think, what am I really doing? Like, am I doing this for my quote unquote safety? Because that's what your mind thinks. Your mind thinks it's keeping you safe, when in reality you're completely safe. You're just not safe handling that much abundance, that higher level, you know? So I have some journal prompts to help you dive deeper. So now that you've seen the patterns that may be holding you back, it's time to go deeper. Shadow work is a gentle yet powerful way to uncover the hidden beliefs that keep your desires just out of reach. So, whenever you're doing this, I really want you to be intentional with the work that you're doing. Find a space that you know you will not be interrupted. you know, set the mood. Set the mood. Light a candle, play soft music, get some soft lighting, whatever gets you in your zone, and get a journal or a notebook or something and just be honest with yourself. Be truthfully, deeply honest with yourself. Hold on, y'all. My laptop about to die. Honesty is the best medicine for real. Because there's no shame in this. There's no shame in admitting who it is that you are. Once you recognize that, you can change it. You have the ability to change it. There's no shame in being who you are. So here are the journal prompts. I'm gonna go through a bit of them, not all of them. We can do, when identifying the block, what is one desire I've been struggling to manifest? What is one thing that you've really been calling in but has not been coming, and you feel like you've been resisting kind of? Because like whenever you're resisting something, you know it. You feel it. You feel it. You feel it. You do. So deeper, understand where that resistance is coming from. Trace its origin. When did I first learn or believe that I couldn't have this? Examine the fear. What am I afraid would happen if I actually got this desire? Because that's the thing. Like, we say we want something, but there's a part of us that actually doesn't want it, because then comes the responsibility of actually having it. Then comes the change in lifestyle with actually getting it. So then, integration. So, congratulations, you've done the brave work of shining light on your hidden beliefs and uncovering the stories that have been quietly shaping your reality. Shadow work is powerful, but the real magic happens when you integrate what you've discovered into your daily life. This is a daily practice. You don't have to do the in depth work every day, but be conscious of what's going on in your awareness. What thoughts are constantly coming up, what emotions are coming up, what how do you feel when around certain people, how do you feel when you're like trying to up level your life, when you are integrating new habits into your routine that would make you a better person. What's coming up when you do that? So I then have a daily integration practice that you can like use in your daily routine just to really notice, what it is that's coming up for you, and just realize how these limiting beliefs and how your shadow is really shaping your perception of life. So that's it for this shadow work ebook. Again, all you have to do, well, let me stop sharing. All you have to do is to, you know, enter your email and you'll be sent the ebook. So now that I went over that, I'm going to talk about my personal experience with shadow work, what even inspired me to create this book in the first place. So, boom. I had just gotten back to my mom's house from Brazil, and I noticed because like I had been affirming this belief of wealth and everything, and I noticed that there was a part of me. I just felt the resistance. Like I asked myself, like, why are you resisting this? And I could feel like it just felt like pushback from like I keep doing this, but like it felt like pushback from my inner self. So I decided to meditate on it and really identify where this resistance was coming from. And what I got from that meditation was a picture of where I used to live when I was a teenager. And I was like, oh, like, okay, so this is my inner teen. Like, okay, cool. So we need to talk to her and find out like what's going on and everything. So again, deeper meditation. I ended up doing this EFT tapping. That's what really helped me, this inner child EFT tapping. And I was talking to her, I was asking her, why are you resisting this? And she said to me, because like I don't deserve to have it. Like I've never had that. Why would I have it now? And that's when I recognized that I internally was blocking this because I felt like since my past look like this, then why would my present look like this? Why would my present be different from my past? I just like because I grew up this way, I had to stay this way, which is not the truth at all. You are allowed to change. And that's one thing I had to reiterate to her. Like, she is allowed to change. She is worthy and deserving of everything that she desired. I just really had to speak life into her because she was just feeling so depleted, because she just felt like why is the version of me like calling in all these things when I know that I don't deserve it. So I went deep into that. It was a lot of emotions, a lot of emotions, just feeling unworthy and just remembering how I grew up, and like it just felt like wrong to want more than I was, allotted as a child. It just felt like I was being like greedy, kind of, when in reality, we didn't have much. So I don't know how I could be greedy. But that's how she felt. That's how my inner teen felt. And really sitting there with her and understanding like how it is that she was conceptualizing my manifestations and like resisting it in the process. It was eye-opening because I didn't know that this resistance was going on until I like deeply felt it. Like I started to feel the emotions in my body of the resistance. So yeah, I would recommend shadow work to anyone who would listen, honestly, because I honestly feel like that's the only thing you need for manifestation. Because once you identify who you think you are at your core, it ties in with self-concept, who you think you are. Once you identify the limiting beliefs and the programming that you hold and you can like rework them, rewire them, and choose to see yourself differently, choose to see your life differently, that's that's all you need to attract what you desire, really. So this is not going to be too long. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I definitely will be doing more of this just to really show y'all what I've created and just give y'all access to this product, because as we are in the end of the year and we're entering into a new year and everything, I just want people to really know that they can take control of their lives. Like, you are the creator of your own reality. You can take control of this shit and create whatever you want to see. So, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. And until I see you all again, peace and love to you all. Check the link in my bio to get my free ebook. It's completely free. Okay. And it's top tier value. Like, I promise using it will change your life. So, yeah. Bye, y'all.